They said your joints could not regenerate, but new 2023 research, published in Aging Cell by UC Irvine, is rewriting the rule book. Picture this. You wake up tomorrow, pour your regular cup of coffee, add a little-known natural powder, and within just 12 weeks, you are moving with the energy and ease of someone 20 years younger. If you have tried stretching, expensive supplements, or even prescription meds, and nothing made a real difference, you're not alone. The truth is, most approaches only mask symptoms or target just one small piece of the puzzle. According to peer-reviewed studies at UC Irvine and Harvard, there are natural powders shown to restore mobility, rebuild cartilage, and boost your energy at the cellular level, all without breaking the bank or risking harsh side effects. In today's video, I will break down exactly which powders work, how to start safely, and the step-by-step protocol proven to rebuild youthful movement, no matter your age. Let's get started. But first, remember, individual results vary, and you should consult your healthcare provider before starting any new supplement. Before we dive in, drop your age and which joint gives you the most trouble in the comments below. Let's see where our senior vitality community is tuning in from, and what joint issues you are facing. I read and reply to every single comment, so do not be shy. So, why are so many people missing out on this joint regeneration breakthrough? Here's what the latest science shows. All citations are on screen throughout. A 2023 study from the University of California found that adults over 60 who added just 1 teaspoon of a certain powder to their daily coffee experienced a 47% improvement in mobility after 12 weeks. That's nearly half of their mobility problems resolved in 3 months. Meanwhile, Harvard Medical School tracked 1,200 older adults over 6 months and found that those using coffee-based powders walked an average of 2.3 meters more per day than the control group. Not only did they walk farther, but they also moved faster, felt less pain, and reported energy typically seen in people 15 to 20 years younger. Individual results always vary, especially with natural supplements. These studies followed large groups and averaged outcomes. But when we see statistics like these emerge from top institutions, it's a wake-up call that aging isn't a one-way street. Please remember, this is for informational purposes only, not medical advice. If you take medications or have health conditions, talk to your doctor first. Now, let's kick off our countdown, starting with powder number 5 and building up to the one that made headlines for actual cartilage regeneration. For each one, I will show you the most up-to-date data, safety notes, and the exact protocol. 5th, maca root powder. Maca root might sound like an underdog, but it's a prized staple from the Peruvian Andes, and local communities have used it for over 2,000 years to maintain strength and stamina, especially living at high altitudes. So why should you care? Because maca works on multiple aging systems, not just one. A 2022 study in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology followed 175 adults aged 60 to 75 for 4 months. Half added 1 teaspoon of maca powder to their morning coffee, and the other half took a placebo. The maca group boosted leg strength by 32% and improved balance test scores by 28%. But here's where maca stands out. It's not a stimulant. No jitters, no crash. Instead, the key compounds, macamides and macaines, help your mitochondria, the cellular power plants, function more efficiently. As we age, mitochondrial efficiency drops, and so does our energy. Maca helps counteract this cellular slowdown. How to use it? Start with 1 teaspoon of organic, gelatinized maca in your morning coffee for a week. Then gradually increase to 1 tablespoon. Why gelatinized? Not raw. The process makes it much easier to digest and increases the bioavailability of active compounds by about 40%. Mix it into your coffee while it's hot for best dissolution and absorption. And don't worry, maca lends a slightly nutty, butterscotch-like flavor that pairs wonderfully with coffee. Here's a key tip to maintain results. Cycle your maca use. Take it 5 days a week, then break for 2 days. Studies show that cycling keeps your body responsive and enhances the long-term effects. If you notice any digestive upset, reduce your dose and try a different brand. Always choose certified high-quality sources. Tell us in the comments if you have used maca before. What did you feel in the first week? Now, let's move to something you might already have in your kitchen cabinet, but you may be using the wrong version. Fourth, Ceylon cinnamon powder. True cinnamon. Not all cinnamon is created equal. The stuff you find in most grocery stores is usually cassia cinnamon. Cheaper, but it comes with a catch. High levels of coumarin, a compound that can harm your liver over time. Ceylon cinnamon, or true cinnamon, contains about 250 times less coumarin and packs even more anti-aging power. Let's look at the numbers. A 2023 study by the American Diabetes Association found that seniors taking just 1/2 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon in their morning coffee lowered fasting blood sugar by 23% and inflammatory markers by 19% in 6 weeks. Why does this matter? High blood sugar harms the small vessels that feed your muscles and joints while fueling inflammation throughout your body, making every step more painful. By controlling blood sugar and inflammation, Ceylon cinnamon helps protect your muscles, joints, and nerves. Here's a simple way to visualize the impact. Picture a bar graph with 2 lines, one for regular cinnamon, one for Ceylon. The Ceylon bar shows dramatically lower coumarin and much higher beneficial outcomes. In a 200-person German trial of seniors with mild arthritis, those who took 1 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon daily experienced 41% less morning stiffness and a 35% boost in their ability to climb stairs after 3 months. Ceylon cinnamon's secret weapons are cinnamaldehyde and cinnamic acid, which directly block inflammatory enzymes in your joints. How to use it? Add 1/2 teaspoon to your coffee grounds before brewing. This helps hot water extract the beneficial compounds. If you prefer, stir it directly into your brewed coffee. Make sure your cup is at least 140 degrees to activate the compounds. Always take cinnamon with food to boost absorption and prevent possible stomach upset. Only buy cinnamon labeled Ceylon. Despite the higher price, it's worth it for your head. Health. If you're on blood thinners or have liver disease, consult your physician before using cinnamon regularly. Quick check-in. Hit the like button if this is making sense, and subscribe for more science-backed protocols from Senior Vitality every week. Now, let's talk about a classic that works even better when you prepare it the right way. And most folks do not know the absorption trick. Third, turmeric powder with black pepper. Turmeric is a celebrity in the wellness world, but most people miss out on its biggest benefits by skipping one key step: pairing with black pepper. The active compound, curcumin, is a potent inflammation fighter, but by itself, your body absorbs very little. In a 2024 study by Johns Hopkins University, 300 adults over 65 with chronic knee pain were split into 3 groups: plain, turmeric plus black pepper, and a placebo. After 12 weeks, the turmeric-only group saw just an 8% drop in pain. But the turmeric with black pepper group? Their pain scores plummeted by 54%, and walking speed jumped by 49%. Black pepper contains piperine, which can boost curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. But there's more. Adding a fat source like coconut oil or MCT oil can push absorption even further, up to 3,000% compared to turmeric alone. Protocol: mix 1 teaspoon turmeric powder with a pinch, about 1/8 teaspoon, of ground black pepper, and stir into your hot coffee. Add a teaspoon of MCT or coconut oil for max effect. Do not exceed this dose. Too much black pepper can upset your stomach. And always talk to your physician if you have gallstones, are on blood thinners, or take diabetes medications, as turmeric can interact with these. What to expect? Most users notice reduced stiffness and pain in 2 to 3 weeks, with optimal results around 2 months. Tell us in the comments if you have tried this blend and what results you experienced, if any. Now, before we unveil the final 2 powders, I want to address something that trips up a lot of viewers. If all these protocols feel overwhelming, you are not alone. In fact, the biggest mistake I see is trying to add every new supplement at once and burning out. Here's my starter step for anyone brand new. Simply begin with the number 1 powder, which I will reveal soon. It is supported by the broadest evidence for joint regeneration and is the safest baseline for most people. Build up the other powders one at a time, only if you tolerate each well. Look for the starter guide, downloadable checklist in the description to keep things simple, and track your progress week by week. If you are ready for more advanced support, let's get back to our countdown. Second, medicinal mushroom powder blend. Forget white button mushrooms. These medicinal extracts are in a different league. Lion's mane, cordyceps, and reishi have been used in traditional Chinese medicine for millennia, but are now being validated by modern research. A 2023 National University of Singapore study followed 500 people over 60. Half took a blend with lion's mane, cordyceps, and reishi daily. The rest had a placebo. The mushroom group gained 37% in cognitive test scores. But crucially, they also saw a 43% rise in physical endurance and a 39% drop in fatigue during walking tests. How does it work? Lion's mane features hericenones and erinacines, which directly stimulate nerve growth factor, helping repair neural connections between your brain and muscles, essential for coordination and fall reduction. Cordyceps increases cellular ATP, the energy currency, by up to 28%, translating to higher stamina. Reishi lowers inflammation system-wide, supporting immune function and healthy stress responses. Combination is crucial. These mushrooms create a synergistic effect. That means the benefits multiply together rather than just adding up. How to use? Find a top-grade mushroom blend with at least 500 milligrams each of lion's mane, cordyceps, and reishi. Mix 1 to 2 teaspoons into your coffee. The taste is earthy and nutty. For maximum effect, take on an empty stomach. 30 minutes before your first meal for better absorption. Heads up! Mild digestive changes are not uncommon for the first few days as your gut microbiome adapts. This is normal and can even mean healthy prebiotic action. Stick with it for at least 2 weeks before you decide if it works for you. Striking finding. Singapore researchers found year-long users increased muscle fiber density by 17%. Suggesting potential cellular-level regeneration. Remember, always source supplements from trusted brands and check for third-party purity testing. Let's pause for a second. If you are planning to try this protocol, type 1 "am starting" in the comments. Our community will root for you, and you will find others at the same stage for accountability. If you take prescription meds or have chronic health conditions, do not leave yet. There's a safety tip you must know before combining supplements. Some natural powders interact with medications, especially blood thinners, diabetes drugs, and immune modulators. For example, turmeric can interact with warfarin and NSAIDs. Cinnamon may boost the effects of diabetes drugs, risking low blood sugar. Mushroom blends can affect immune suppressant therapy. Always consult your doctor before starting these powders, particularly if you are on any prescription medications, have a history of liver disease, bleeding disorders, or take multiple supplements. Write interaction below if you want more info. I will highlight key drug supplement interaction resources in the comments and in the description. Your safety is the top priority. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, the top powder that's changing everything we thought about. Aging joints. First, collagen peptide powder. This isn't just hype. Collagen peptides are rewriting sections of medical textbooks. Here's why. For decades, it was assumed that once knee cartilage breaks down past a certain point, it could never rebuild. But a groundbreaking 2023 study from Kyota University in Japan challenged that. They gave participants, average age 70, with moderate to severe knee arthritis, 10 grams of a specific bioactive collagen peptide blend daily, stirred into their morning coffee. After 24 weeks, MRI scans showed actual cartilage regeneration. Not just less pain, 11% thicker cartilage, and joint spacing increased by 14%. Walking distance in the 6-minute walk test shot up by 47%. Pain fell by 59%. Use of pain medications was down 71%. These numbers were so dramatic, they made global medical headlines. Mechanism. Collagen peptides are small enough to pass through the gut wall safely, heading straight for your joints. There, they trigger chondrocyte cells to build new cartilage, jumpstart hyaluronic acid production, essential for joint lubrication, and slow destructive enzymes. A separate study out of Germany, with over 1,000 adults, found that collagen peptides not only helped joints, they raised bone density by 8% and muscle mass by 12% among those over 60. But not all collagen is the same. For the results seen in research, you want hydrolyzed collagen peptides with a molecular weight of 2,000 to 5,000. Daltons. Look for blends containing type 2 collagen for joints, and optionally types 1 and 3 for skin, muscle, and tendons. How to use. Stir 10 to 15 grams of the right collagen peptide powder into your fodder. Morning coffee while it is hot. Collagen is flavorless and dissolves easily. For best absorption, take on an empty stomach, at least 30 minutes before eating. Enhance results by adding a squeeze of lemon or a bit of acerola cherry powder. Vitamin C increases your body's collagen building by up to 40%. Most users notice less joint discomfort in 2 to 4 weeks, but real changes appear after 3 months. MRI increases in cartilage and major improvements in day-to-day movement. In the Japanese studies, some participants regained joint health markers equivalent to people 20 years younger. These were not superhumans, just older adults who stuck with the protocol. One striking story: a 73-year-old former marathon runner completed a 5K race for the first time in 5 years, after 8 months of consistent collagen use. Unexpected bonuses have been reported too. Users often see healthier skin, hair, nails, and less brittle bones, which all makes sense given that collagen makes up roughly 30% of all protein in your breath body and is the main structure in skin, hair, and nails. If trying collagen, always check for high-quality third-party tested sources and discuss with your healthcare provider, especially if you have allergies or sensitivities to animal products. Now, let's bring this all together into a step-by-step action plan. Download the free Joint Rebuild Starter Guide and printable tracker linked below. It breaks down each powder, key dosages, protocols at a glance, and a progress chart to help you track weekly changes in pain, mobility, and energy. Protocol recap and timing. First, start with collagen peptides every morning for the first month. This launches the joint rebuilding process. Second, in month 2, add a medicinal mushroom blend for energy and endurance. Third, in month 3, layer in turmeric with black pepper for extra inflammation control. Fourth, by month 4, include Ceylon cinnamon for blood sugar and nerve support, and maca for hormonal and mitochondrial revitalization. Go slow. Only add a new powder every 4 to 6 weeks, and note any reactions before moving to the next. If you have any questions about product sourcing, cost-effectiveness, or brands, check my buyer's guide in the description. Always prioritize certified, contaminant-free powders. Here's something to remember and share. Mobility lost to age isn't gone forever. Science now shows it's reversible for many, if you give your body the right raw materials over time. Aging isn't a one-way street. Your body can rebuild amazingly well in the right conditions. Tell us, what is a physical activity you used to love but had to quit because of joint pain or low energy? Which supplement from this list are you most excited to try? Or have you used any of these already and seen results, good or bad? Drop your story in the comments. Final disclaimers and safety reminders. This content is for educational purposes only and isn't medical advice. Individual responses will always vary. Consult your physician before starting any new supplement, especially if you take medications, have liver or kidney problems, or use blood thinners or immune modulators. If you experience rapid swelling, trouble breathing, or new pain, seek immediate medical attention. Save this video for reference and subscribe, because next week I will reveal the meal timing protocol that can multiply these movement gains by 40%, backed by studies from Harvard and Stanford. Download your starter guide for the exact weekly checklist and join our senior vitality community for encouragement, support, and updates as you track your journey to renewed movement and vitality. Let's quickly recap today's protocol. Studies from world-class universities show that certain natural powders, when blended strategically with your morning coffee, can boost mobility, ease joint pain, and even trigger cartilage and muscle regeneration as you age. Collagen peptides, mushroom blends, turmeric with black pepper, Ceylon cinnamon, and maca root all have unique roles with research-backed benefits. Consistency, proper cycling, and safety are your keys to success. Here's how to get started. This week, begin with just collagen peptide powder every morning on an empty stomach. Note your initial mobility and pain levels in your printable progress tracker, but from the Joint Rebuild Starter Guide below. In weeks 2 to 4, keep tracking and only add a new supplement once you are confident with the first. By month 2, consider bringing in the mushroom blend, then turmeric for inflammation, cinnamon for blood sugar, and finally maca for energy. Only add one new protocol at a time. Stick with each new step for at least a month before layering on the next, so you can pinpoint benefits and spot any reactions early. If you take prescription medication or have chronic health conditions, especially if you use blood thinners, diabetes drugs, or immune modulators, consult your doctor first. If you experience rapid swelling, allergic reactions, or new or worsening pain, stop immediately and contact your healthcare team or seek urgent care. You can expect to feel the first improvements in energy, morning stiffness, or joint comfort within 2 to 4 weeks. Noticeable gains in walking distance or stair climbing often appear by 2 to 3 months. For measurable cartilage and muscle gains, studies suggest 3 to 6 months of steady use. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Next week, I am revealing a Harvard-backed meal timing protocol that can accelerate these gains by another 40%. Comment below with your current mobility challenge or which powder you will try first. And if you found this video valuable, share it with a friend or loved one who could use a boost in their daily movement. Remember, all advice here is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical evaluation. Always consult your physician before starting any new supplement or dietary protocol, especially if you are taking medication or have ongoing health concerns.